This should be his official theme song, actually. Tucker Carlson, are you living La Vida Loca today?
Oh, gentlemen, crazier than you can imagine. I'm headed to the Jefferson for breakfast. So zany is my life.
But may I just, first of all, before we move on to the topics at hand, you got to ask Betsy Rothstein to stop writing about me over at Daily Caller. It's getting embarrassing now.
She's obsessed. She loves you.
No, I guess that's understandable.
She does, actually.
I love her. I would like to start, Tucker, with a story that led at your site, Daily Caller, pretty much all day yesterday, and that was this story of the chairman of Mozilla, the software company that creates the browser Firefox, had to step down because 6 years ago, he donated to California's Prop 8 campaign, which defined marriage being between one man and one woman. By the way, the same position that Barack Obama had when he won the presidency back then. Is this the new McCarthyism?
Well, it's just tolerance. It's just another name for tolerance. Crushing people who disagree with you, making opinions that were entirely legitimate, in fact, majority and mainstream, say 4 years ago, totally a fireable offense for holding. Yeah. That's just it's just tolerance.
We talked about this in the 5 o'clock hour, and one of our listeners called in and said, listen, the right just needs to be organized. Conservatives need to start doing this against liberals. Is that the answer? Or should we actually excuse people for their private political positions and not persecute them?
Yeah, of course. I mean, look, there are some positions, I guess, that are so horrible and unattractive. You wouldn't want to hire people who were, like, sympathetic to the Nazis or something like that. There are opinions that are, I guess, beyond the pale, but there aren't that many of them. And the truth is, the majority of the world's population, and maybe even the majority of Americans, agree with the guy. I'm not saying I do, but lots of people do. It's been the position of, like, the majority of people throughout human history. Again, doesn't mean it's right, but it does mean, like, time, it takes a while for people's opinions to change. And be tolerant. I don't know, win people over with the power of your logic, with, debate, rather than just crushing them when they disagree. It's a little bit troubling. I can't imagine that's the mainstream view among gay people. I don't think the average gay person wants, a CEO fired because he once opposed gay marriage. That's a position of a small group of activists who seem to have a lot of power right now, unfortunately.
Oh, all right. Now, there's another story that we've had a very feisty conversation about here this morning. Here's Congressman Jim Moran yesterday.
I think that the American people should know that the members of Congress are underpaid.
He says members of Congress are underpaid. He believes members of Congress should get a raise. They now make $174,000 a year. What do you think?
But why do that when you can just take, like, loans or kickbacks from, say, credit card companies for doing their bidding in Congress?
Yeah.
Wait, I think Moran already did that. Okay. Yeah, you just supplement your pay with bribery. It's pretty simple. I don't know why you need to hike the actual pay.
So you would be in disagreement with the congressman?
Well, I would say to Jim Moran, maybe other people should just do what you did and just take, dirty money from campaign contributors in exchange for carrying their water in Congress.
The guy's got to do what a guy's got to do to pay the rent, Tucker Carlson.
Everyone beats up on Jim Moran, but he is hilarious. He used to come on my show when I was at MSNBC, and I think every single time he'd had like 8 glasses of wine before he came on, and he was a pretty spirited debater as a result.
Tucker, you're a D.C. denizen. You know that I consider you my D.C. paragon there. I'm trying to live your life eventually, and I wonder what you think of the mayoral campaign that we just saw.
I was really sad. I live in Ward 3, and I'm Caucasian, so you'd think, well, I would be absolutely against Vince Gray, but actually, I was a Vince Gray supporter for a really simple reason.
What?
Vince Gray is not going to get in my business. He's old, so he's tired. He's distracted by a federal investigation, and he's totally incompetent. So it's not like he's going to be, reorganizing my life. He doesn't have the energy or the ability to do that. I want an incompetent mayor of D.C. He's going great. Just get out of my face. So Vince Gray was absolutely awesome. He gets to run around Ward 8 and make all these noises, and people like him and stuff, and he never showed up in my neighborhood. It never would.
Oh, where was that endorsement when he needed you?
Well, totally. Marion Barry and I, polar opposites politically, but we were both for Vince Gray. Muriel Bowser, I don't know anything about her. She seems like she's got a ton of energy, which is troubling. The last thing you want is for the mayor of D.C. to have actual power.
Right. God forbid, she's actually going to get in there and do something.
No, that's the last thing I want. Look, I don't want any city services. We have the lowest taxes in the region. We have the nicest city probably in the United States, and they can only make it worse.
All right, now look, Tucker, I got to take you to task on one thing. I read the Daily Caller every day, and I've come to expect that it's sort of a place where I can get a sort of a testosterone-charged look at politics. I mean, you got politics and you got pretty girls. I mean, what else could a guy want? And then I was very, 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 very deeply troubled to learn that a large number of men who serve on your staff apparently are cat owners.
Oh,
What's up with that?
That is such a slander. I cannot even stand it. We have no cat owners on staff and no bicycle riders.
That's not true.
I'm reading it right now. It's under Betsy Rothstein's byline.
I know. It's just that's an April Fool's prank. Everybody on my staff rides a motorcycle to work, chews tobacco, and drinks during the day. In fact, we are literally starting, and I'm not making this up, an LGBT segment, which stands for Ladies, Guns, Beer, and Tobacco. And we're starting that. That's our new vertical. I'm not kidding. We're launching
a new vertical. Wait,
no.
You're doing that instead of Daily Caller London? Is that? No, but I'm letting you can't go. I'm not letting you off the hook here with this April Fool's thing. It's dated March 27th, and I'm looking at how many of these are Daily Caller people.
Like
Good
5
Lord.
of them.
Alex Pappas, Chuck Ross, Paul Corner, the Will Ron, Tucker Carlson. You've got to get your house in order.
No, that just there are no cat owners on.
The man is in denial.
Substitute cat for German Shepherd, and you're getting closer.
Listen, I think you need to either have a conversation with Betsy, and there needs to be a retraction, or you need to learn more about your staff.
I don't want to know. If someone possesses a feline, I want to remain ignorant of it.
All right. Tucker Carlson, editor-in-chief of the Daily Caller. Hey, Tucker, happy Nationals home opener day. Enjoy your D.C. weekend.